for the KP at the half.
Hello again, sports fans. A very pleasant good evening. Magandang gabi po. Kumusta po kayo? This is another edition of KP at the half. Ang inyong silugoon, Romy Quintanar. Well, this championship series has certainly lived up to its billing, and that is a classic, a bruising matchup between the two teams of the PBA, the top bangers of the PBA, and that is Ginebra San Miguel and Alaska Air Force. And of course, the first two quarters, well, we saw Ginebra tangle with Alaska again in another exhibition of top caliber ball. Right now, Alaska is leading after two quarters, 48-45. You know, the analysis of Dr. J, that's Andrew Howe, has always dazzled the fans all over the country and all over the world, in fact. And tonight, he has a very special guest with him who will analyze the first two quarters with the great Dr. J. Here is Andrew and Norman Black.
Well, thank you very much, Romy Quintanar. First of all, welcome, Norman, and congratulations for your team for picking up third place. In case you just joined us, they won by 5 points, although it was a much bigger lead than that. It was a little bit scary at the end.
Yes, it was, Andy, yes.
Now, the first thing I would like to ask you, Norman, is a question that I should have asked you if we were together at the start of the ball game. As a coach and as a guy who has been in the championship series, how important is it winning the third game of a fifth game when the series is tied at 1-1?
Well, I think it's very important, Andy, because, of course, if you lose the third game, you have to win 2 straight, whereas if you win the third game, you only have to win 1 to win the championship. So normally they say this is a turning point of a 5-game series. If the series is tied up 1-1, that third game would be the most important game.
Do you think it puts a lot of pressure on a team that loses, or do you get by it, you know, as a...
Well, normally it might put a lot of pressure on a team that loses, but it depends on the team. Like if it never loses tonight, I doubt if they would have very much pressure because they're very used to coming from behind, and they're better when their backs are up against the wall.
Okay, so we've gotten that out of the way. Now, to look back at this series and this first half of play, Alaska's led in all 3 games in the first half, and obviously the momentum has always been on their side. But Ginebra comes on strong in the second quarter. You notice the pattern of substitution for Sonny Jaworski. He starts off with a weak guy in there, usually to complement the board, and he slowly but surely gets in the people that he feels will contribute best to his team. Now, you know, how good is this strategy, especially after Alaska took a 12-point lead?
Well, so far, in my estimate, Andy, I think the Alaska team has dictated the tempo of the games. It's been a slow game. It's been a low-scoring game. It's been a defensive struggle, basically, between the two teams. But if you look at the Ginebra team, despite the fact that their game is a little bit more run, and try to get the ball off the court as fast as possible, they seem to be very comfortable with this type of game also. And they seem to be very patient. I think tonight and in the series for Ginebra, the key word is patience. If they can have patience, because you know Alaska's going to slow it down, they're going to execute their plays, they're not going to give up very many fast breaks. But if you can be patient, and I'm talking about Ginebra, then probably at the fourth quarter when the Alaska team starts to get tired and Wes Matthews starts to come up, they have a better chance of getting into a faster pace game.
So, you know, despite this, Norm, first of all, one thing, what can Ginebra do to improve their rebounding? Because Alaska certainly sets its plays up well so that their rebounders are on the board when they take shots. That's one. And second, how come the lead has been only 3? You know, when you look at the other statistics, it doesn't show Ginebra getting more points from the free throw line.
Well, Andy, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Alaska is not shooting very well in this ball game, and that's why they're getting a lot of offensive rebounds. But if you look at the total that they have 16 offensive rebounds. They've only scored 10 points, so that's not really a very good percentage off of the offensive rebounds that they have. Now, one of the reasons why Ginebra is giving up so many offensive rebounds is because they have a very small team.
Yes.
Normally, Ginebra gangs rebounds. Everybody rebounds for them, but they don't really rely on one guy or one center because they do have a very small team.
Well, you know, Matthews has been doing a better job at rebounding here in the past game. So, you know, that is a factor that I think they're looking forward from him.
Yeah, well, if you look at the score right now, it's pretty amazing that Ginebra is this close, despite the fact that they're really being hammered on the boards. I'm sure that's one adjustment that Coach Sonny Jaworski will make at halftime to tell his guys, you have to do a better job of boxing out, keep these guys off the boards so we can have a better chance of winning this ball game.
There are a lot of people who talk about hunger in this series, that Alaska is hungry for its first ever championship, and equally that Ginebra and Sunny would always want to win championships as their team has done. Do you think that has been a factor in this series?
Well, definitely Alaska wants to win this championship. They've been in the league now for 6 years, and they still haven't won up to now, so the hunger factor is there for the Alaska team. On the other side, for Ginebra, with this type of support that they're getting, the home court advantage, as they say here at the Ultra, how can you not want to win? You're going to want to win every game if you have these people really cheering you on no matter what you do wrong. They're still there supporting you. So I think both teams are very hungry, and you can see by the competitiveness of the games and the closeness of the games that both teams really want to win this series, Andy.
Again, my congratulations to your team,
Thank you.
Norman, and I'm looking forward to a better year for San Miguel next year with Norman Black at the helm. Too bad we have too much little time.
Andy, I'd like to thank Romy, too, for the nice comments.
And we would like to turn over to Romy Quintana and hope that Norman can join us maybe in the 4th game or if there is a 5th game.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew and Norman. Fantastic analysis. Great analysis. Ano pa nga bang kulang dyan? By the way, we have an announcement here from the PBA. All amateur basketball players who wish to play in the Philippine Basketball Association in the 1992 season have until 12 noon of Friday, December 20, to submit their applications and certified true copies of their birth certificates at the PBA office, 8th floor, Ortigas Building, Ortigas Avenue, Pasig, Metro Manila. Sige po, yun po ang ating KP at the half ngayong gabi. Daghang salamat, may gabi kanyang tanan. Diyos yaknina, apo!
You have just seen the KP at the half.
Play with Ginebra in possession. They're down by 3, and Andy, you and Norman really covered a lot of ground in that halftime analysis of yours, especially about the fact that Ginebra's gang rebounding has not really been able to been put in full force in this series yet.
Well, obviously, it's because Alaska plays good defense and they concentrate on defensive rebounding. At the same time, like I said, their offense is oriented to somebody always being there. As Frankie Lim continues to have a good game, he has 14 in the ball game. Is that 14 or
14 points
in the ball
exactly.
game? Yes. 3-point attempt here by Matthews with no rebounders, and he has not been hitting that. He's only 1 out of 5 from that area, and Alaska takes a 5-point lead here at the start of the 3rd quarter.
Then again, they started strong also, but Ginebra was able to catch up with them. It's been a game played in spurts thus far. Chambers off the glass, and Chambers must feel a bit liberated. He only had 9 points in the first half.
Yes, what happened there was Ginebra did not double team in time. So Chito Loizaga, trying to cover the middle, gave him the baseline. He was expecting his teammates to come and help. It came in a little bit late. And a 4-0 run here for the Alaska Milkmen at the start of the 3rd quarter. Up to a 7-point lead. The biggest lead of Alaska in this ball game was 12.
That was way back at 18-6.
And again, Ginebra, who wanted to start off strongly, obviously with Sunny fielding himself in, having problems starting off. No.
Loizaga on the outside, pops, doesn't go. Chambers had trouble hanging on to it. Ginebra will get a fresh 25.
Ginebra has missed 3 attempts at the basket here in the 3rd quarter. Matthews doing the inbound, getting it to Sunny, who is fouled there by Frankie Lim.
As we said, Ginebra, one of the best teams at inbounding from the baseline. Frankie Lim caught by surprise here. Jaworski almost in a ballet move.
Yes, Frankie was looking for Sunny to screen instead of Sunny getting the pass. No. Sunny makes the first free throw, and that's why he was surprised when all of a sudden the lob pass was given to Sunny, and he was already going for the shot. Jaworski, after hitting 2 3-point shots in the first game, did not score in the 2nd game. But of course, there are other things to look forward to, like his team, other guys coming into the play, no?
Chambers off Loizaga, off balance, doesn't get the roll. Polistico, step back jumper, doesn't fall for him. Chambers is in the paint. Ampalaya slaps it away over Jaworski this time.
And again, the dominance of the boards working well for Alaska as they take another 8-point lead, getting second opportunities to score. 3-point shot by Jaworski, and he puts it in.
Jaworski, 3 points.
The blink of an eye, Alaska's lead is down to 5.
55-50 is the count. Both teams shooting 1 team foul. We have about 2 minutes gone by here. Not really 2 minutes, but close to it.
Lastimosa still working on his offense. Chambers slides into the paint for 2 more.
And Chambers is going to town here. Nobody helping out there. This time, Chito covered the baseline, and he was expecting help coming from the middle. Nobody was there.
Tim Cone chewed out Sean Chambers for his pathetic performance in the second half of Game 2, and Chambers actually talked to himself as well. That's why he's pumped up in the second half of this game. Ampalayo is also pumped up. Bangs in a three-pointer, and Ginebra is eating away at Alaska's lead. It now stands at 4, 57-53.
Ampalayo hitting at almost the exact spot where Sonny hit the three-point shot earlier. And there's Polistico stepping in now. Jojo forcing up that shot. And Franklin picking up the loose ball, getting off to Alvarez.
Free shot by Alvarez, doesn't get the roll. All red under the basket. Matthews.
He doesn't rush things, though. He's waiting for his teammates to come into the picture. Slips a little bit, gets it off to Ampalayo, and we have a 3-second violation called on Sonny.
Jaworski too busy to trying to box out, and Ampalayo a bit indecisive there, cost them that possession.
See, that shot was already set up for him. He should have taken it. What he decided to do was to dribble, and that caught them with a 3-second violation. Another thing, if Matthews did not lose his footing, he would have gone to the hoop. He lost his footing, that's why he had to give up the ball.
Yes, he definitely would have. Chambers against Loizaga, his perennial opponent. Alvarez. Lastimosa, they swing the ball around quickly. Polistico thought about a jumper, tried to get it to Alvarez inside, tapped out by Ampalayo. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
And Alaska has to do a good inbound here.
8 minutes. 8 minutes and 49 seconds to go. 4-point lead still for Alaska. It's going to be a foul on that play. A lot of jostling inside. Dante Gonzalgo with a second motion, catching Jojo Lastimosa in the jaw. Sonny Jaworski trying to break that up, challenging Don Polistico, who was haranguing Dante Gonzalgo.
Foul, Gonzalgo.
Gonzalgo giving up that foul here.
Technical foul, Gonzalgo.
There you see the extra motion, catching Jojo Lastimosa on the jaw there. And are they trying to psych each other out or what?
I think so. I think, you know, the series has not been as physical as some of the series we've seen in the past. Now, although, of course, there is the fervor of wanting to win a championship, which has caused some of those extra motions. And, you know.
Gonzalgo.
And these teams do not like each other.
Yes, that's the problem.
8 minutes and 49 to go still. Jojo Lastimosa at the free throw line. Misses the technical. And here's someone we haven't seen in a long while, Haji Alejandro, catching the action.
He migrated to the States.
Yes.
I think he has a concert with the daughter coming up. I heard that about a couple of days back.
Alvarez has Jaworski on him. Double team, finds Polistico. Thought about it. 3-second violation. Jaworski taking the ball away from Polistico. And
Polistico is coming up with too many motions for anybody's good.
Reacting to everything that the Ginebra players are doing. Distrito taking the basketball.
Well, they're trying to psych him up, like you say, you know, trying to make him lose his cool. And he's such a very important player to this squad.
And they know he has a short fuse. Let's see what the call is going to be.
Double technical foul, Distrito, Polistico.
Polistico is replaced now by Alex Araneta. So the guys in the middle of the storm have been sat down by their coaches.
Well, those people better realize that that technical foul sticks with them. So one more. Matthews has one, Gonzalgo has one, Distrito has one, Polistico has one.
You know, one more and you're out of here.
Yeah. If it is of the same nature,
Yes.
which is unsportsmanlike conduct. We're not talking about delay of the game or and we have the referee De Leon trying to do a good job. They will be able to do a good job if they call the plays properly, you know. If they make mistakes throughout the game, and then there's going to be a lot of problems.
Talking to the team captains to keep everything under control, and we get underway once again. 4-point lead for Alaska. A protracted third quarter.
57-53 here. Well, the first game ended quite early, although there was another award given. But obviously, this one's going to be a long one.
Yes, it is. Nothing's going to be easy. This is a knockdown, drag-out affair. Jaworski from long range. Chambers came down with it. Driving hard, goes up against Jaworski, off balance, rattles out. Alvarez with the rebound, goes up, is fouled, gets the basket.
Rolls down, plus a foul there from Sunny, I think. Yes.
Foul, Jaworski.
And Alvarez with a good offensive rebound, which is what Alaska has done well in this ballgame. They have out-rebounded Ginebra completely up to this quarter, no? And that's now a 6-point lead with Alvarez getting an extra free throw. And getting a good bounce there, so it ups the lead to 7, 60-53.
But as we said, no small leads are going to be safe in this series. Alaska, though, has dominated the boards. That is clear. Ampalayo in the paint off Araneta. They swing the ball around now. No action on the inside. Loizaga with an offensive foul on Lastimosa.
Yes, he put the shoulder there on Lastimosa, who had trapped him in that play. And that will be the third personal foul of Chito and the 14th foul. Lastimosa talking to the trainer of Ginebra, and Jojo a little bit, getting into it. Why would you get into it with somebody who's not playing on the floor?
Yes, Nino Cinco, the trainer of Ginebra San Miguel, challenging Jojo Lastimosa there. Everybody on that team doesn't back down. And Chambers, again, driving inside. He's fouled. Going to be on Chito Loizaga.
Foul, Loizaga.
That's number 4 on him. Chambers is 4 out of 11 from the field. Manchus is 5 out of 11, so both of them are not shooting well from that area.
And Jojo Lastimosa is 1 out of 8. Chambers takes his time and gets a merciful bounce. Loizaga has to sit down. He has 4 fouls. Dante Gonzalez back in. This could be a big development for Ginebra.
Yes, 61-53 now as Ginebra losing a little concentration on the game while the Alaska Milkmen have continues to pound, which is the right thing to do, no?
And Sean Chambers won't have to worry about Chito Loizaga for a while. That could also greatly affect the game either way.
62-53 now on a big run here by Alaska.
Jaworski trying to keep his team in this game. Traveling on Rudy Distrito.
Took that long step and lost it.
That's been plaguing Distrito in this final series.
Yes, and the problem there is, as I said, always and another foul called on Gonzalgo.
They threw the ball in quickly to Alex Araneta as Ginebra lost his concentration on defense. Gonzalgo stepped in, but just a little bit too late.
16 fouls called against Ginebra. Alaska's only 1. And we have Leo Isaac, Ray Cuenco about to come into the ballgame for Ampalayo, who has to be relieved. No? Alex making the first free throw.
We're looking at Eric Buhain there, the outstanding male athlete of the 1989 and 1991 Southeast Asian Games, taking in the action with Nap Gutierrez.
Yes, and I can never say no to Nap. He's been a good friend through all my troubles and tribulations. And I think he's taping him for his Basketball Weekly this coming week.
All right. And incidentally, Nap is also the editor of Basketball Weekly, the magazine.
Yes.
Ginebra is down by 10 points. Rudy Distrito has had to deal with Sean Chambers. Dante Gonzalgo has men all over the place on him. Distrito pops from the baseline and gets it.
They made that basket, but Alaska played 100% good defense all the way, challenging almost everything, every movement of Ginebra, and Distrito came up with a good shot there.
Chambers, top of the key, double team, finds Alvarez, cuts into the middle, one-handed shot, goes in.
Wow, a long looper, a good looper there for Alvarez, who had to really extend himself.
There are no easy shots in this game. Jaworski takes a triple and cans it.
Jaworski, 3
That's his
points.
second. He has 8 points. And Alaska's lead slashed to 7.
And Ginebra still knocking in there. Alaska's been in total control. They've never been ahead, I think, in this ball game, no?
But they have not been able to break away. That's going to be an offensive foul, or rather traveling. Bong Alvarez doing the cha-cha before putting the ball on the floor. Gonzalgo barreling into Jojo Lastimosa. It's going to be a blocking foul on Jojo.
Foul, Lastimosa.
Dondon Apalayo's legs are being given a working over.
That's why he has to be relieved, I think. He asked, no? Because maybe he was feeling the crumbs coming in there. Ampalayo and Loizaga both sitting on the bench, but you know, Gonzalgo has come up a little bit here, and so has Sonny with his 6-point explosion from that area, plus the 2 free throws that he got, no?
And he was talking about how his game needs improvement, and he's shown that tonight. Alaska trying to find an open man. Lastimosa working hard, goes inside. Banged by Ray Cuenco. As we said, there are going to be no easy shots in this game.
Cuenco picking up his 4th personal foul in that play, and we'll have a timeout right after this Cerbex fast break play of the day, no?
San Miguel.
Let's see this. Wes Matthews completes it. We'll take a timeout. There's some commotion going on in the gallery.
Lastimosa, meanwhile, making his 2 free throws to improve the lead of Alaska to 7, 67 to 60. Ginebra in the penalty, Alaska with 2 team fouls, and Alaska coming up with a trapping defense there.
This is something they haven't done for quite a while. Ginebra, however, able to move the ball to open territory. Gonzalgo with a creative move.
And that was a difficult shot because Chambers came to the rescue in defense there, and he had to come up with a difficult shot. Alvarez copping out there.
Saw Gonzalgo in his face and wanted to return the compliment but couldn't. Chambers on the outside. Matthews cheating in a double team. They lob it over to Araneta, out to Frankie Lim. He's been hitting this all night. Not this time. There's going to be a pushing foul, or rather a holding foul.
It's going to be on Cuenco. That will be number 5 on him.
Foul, Cuenco.
And at the same time, they are in the penalty, so Chambers will go to the free throw line.
And of course, you saw him earlier, the outstanding male athlete of the 15th and 16th Southeast Asian Games, Eric Buhayan, who momentarily shifted his attention from swimming to basketball, and he is our Kodak face of the day. And for being chosen our face of the day, he will get an 11x14 mounted color photo from Kodak, plus a chance to party at the country's Total Entertainment Center Faces.
Well, you are right. It's really the only place.
Absolutely.
68-62 is the count. A 6-point lead now being enjoyed here by Alaska. And there's the double team again. Matthews still trapped in the backcourt.
Gonzalgo bobbles. Chambers picks it up. 4-on-2 situation. Chambers may go all the way. He finally does and gets fouled by Jaworski, who got out of the way a bit too late.
Making Chambers miss that shot, and so it'll be free throws here for Sean Chambers. Sonny will pick up his 4th personal foul also. Alaska throwing Ginebra away with a surprising move there by trapping there at the top of the key.
Chambers continuing to miss from the free throw line. 19 points, 14 rebounds.
Making the second, 69-62. Alaska again there. Jaworski's, well, 1-2-2 there, so they have that formation now.
Gonzalgo having trouble getting rid of the basketball, decides to take it to the hoop. Instead, he's fouled
by Araneta, who was moving in that play.
That's going to be number 4 on Alex Araneta. And incidentally, a Cooperative Business Opportunities Congress will be held from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on December 15 at the Philippine International Convention Center. That's the PICC. Interested cooperatives may register with the office of Senator Boots Aquino at 180 Aurora Boulevard, San Juan, Metro Manila. Telephone number 706-718 and 706-752.
Gonzalgo making the first free throw, partner, to cut the lead down to 6. No rebounders there for Ginebra, and Dudy Distrito will do the honors.
up against Dong Polistico, and Gonzalgo makes sure of the second. 5-point lead for Alaska. Ginebra hanging tough despite the mammoth advantage of Alaska off the rebounds.
Yes.
Alvarez on the outside has not been able to put up a shot in the last few minutes. Finally gets an opportunity but lost it. Gets it back, drives past Cuenco, goes up too hard off the glass.
And look at the
Polistico, yes.
Look at the offensive rebounding of Alaska. 3 white shirts were there after Alvarez missed. They were there.
Alaska continuing to dominate the glass. But then, as Norman pointed out, they were not able to convert a lot of the offensive rebounds in the first half.
Yes. We're going to have a foul here called on Polistico.
Foul, Polistico.
That's number 3 on him. Only the 4th team foul called against Alaska. Never had entered the penalty as early as 2 minutes back in this quarter. 4:17 left in this third quarter.
Distrito gets away from Lastimosa but misses the shot. Chambers tapped it out, but Cuenco retrieves it. Lastimosa picks his pocket. He gets it back. Goes up, blocked and fouled by Polistico.
Yes, Polistico couldn't get the position there as Cuenco had a different
Foul,
angle.
Polistico.
That will be number 4 on him. And Cuenco,
Got a lucky break here. Got the ball back. Went up strong.
you can call that a big break. Yes, the ball going back to him as 2 players go for it on the other end. Cuenco making the first free throw. 71-65 is the count.
Polistico.
Polistico is going to be replaced by Biboy Ravanes. Small lineup here for Alaska.
They have no choice because Polistico and Araneta with 4 personal fouls apiece, and we're only in the third quarter with still a lot of time to go. You want to preserve that, no?
And they are still in the lead. Let's see how this will affect their game plan. Biboy Ravanes came in for Dom Polistico. Lim to Lastimosa. Gets past Distrito, goes the reverse, overshoots. Chambers is going to be fouled there.
See, Chambers is a very good rebounder. That's what's been working for them. 5th personal foul on Gonzalgo.
Chambers is at the line once again, but that has been his Achilles heel.
Isaac going to be sent back into the ball game. Look at this. Ginebra's playing with a 4-guard lineup actually because that's what they naturally are, no? Jaworski, Distrito, Matthews, and Isaac.
Gonzalgo.
And in fact, Ray Cuenco is a forward.
Not really. Well, he has to play center for this team. No? Ampalayo is not in there, neither is Loizaga.
Big numbers put up by Sean Chambers, but the free throw stats,
He's been splitting it.
they've been heading south. Jaworski put up a triple. Isaac with a tip in. Yes!
Isaac being there at the right place at the right time, and Bong Alvarez knew he had made the mistake. He was looking at the shot of Jaworski, allowing Isaac to sidestep him and go for that tap-in.
Mental lapse on the part of Bong Alvarez, and Tim Cone won't let him forget it. Chambers inside to Ravanes, off Jaworski for 2.
And very patient also is the offense of the Alaska team. Matthews has been held down in this quarter. It's been the locals who've been scoring for Ginebra, no?
As Matthews has not scored in this period. Jaworski finds Cuenco in the low post. Backs up, back to Jaworski. Triple fake, goes to Cuenco. Reverse layup for Ray Cuenco.
A set-up job there done by Jaworski. And Cuenco responds. So Cuenco knows he's got to keep himself in that ball game. He's been playing well.
They're hanging on to the coattails of Alaska Milk.
And you know, Matthews can be explosive in 1 quarter.
Ever dangerous. That's what Ginebra has been. Lastimosa gets Isaac out of the way, goes to Lim, triple V.
Yes, another big
Lim,
basket
3
by
point.
Lim, who's been shooting well the whole night. And that had to come because of a double team there against Jojo Lastimosa.
17 points now for Frankie Lim.
Back to a 7-point lead for Alaska. There's a pump foul there. And again, Matthews reacting.
And Distrito
Foul.
nudging Frankie Lim.
Alvarez.
Lim will pick up his 4th personal foul. That'll be the 16th foul.
Timeout, Alaska.
We have a timeout. Nandy Garcia announces his presence with a foul that Jaworski had been trying to bait off him. Roel Gomez likewise joins him in the Alaska lineup.
So Lim and Alvarez going off, Sonny made that move to get the Alaska into penalty situation. That would be the 17th foul. That's why he did that.
Matthews double team continuously. Jaworski gets past Garcia, goes to Distrito. Chambers takes it away. Good defense by Alaska.
Pass a little bit high. And a nice
Chambers
pass here.
finds Ravanes for a Surbex-D fast break.
So it's a 79-70 count right now and a 9-point lead being enjoyed by Alaska.
And you caught a fleeting glimpse of Rosa Rosal and her kin here at the Ultra. And I tell you, everybody's here tonight. Another turnover by Ginebra. 5-on-3 situation. Lastimosa gives it up. Nobody picks it up. Gomez goes to Chambers. He has Isaac on him.
Makes the shot. 81-70 is the count now. Alaska making a breakaway here.
Mother and daughter here. Tony Rose also in attendance here at the Ultra.
Ginebra feeling the pressure now a little bit as they made some miscues here. Matthews has remained scoreless, and there's going to be a foul that will send him to the free throw line.
He's going to have to earn it from the stripe. Nothing from Wes Matthews from
Penalty.
any field goal attempts in this third quarter.
Well, he has hardly attempted. From the free throw line, he has been 5 out of 6, missing 1 there in the second quarter. Missing this one also, and showing some signs of vulnerability right now, on the part of Matthews. Not having made any attempts for quite a while now.
He's gotten cold even though he's been on the floor.
Look at this, 16 points. Make that 17, no? But that's way, way below. Let's not even think of the 50-something average. You only have to look at about 38, 39. That's still way below that.
Trying to pester Jojo Lastimosa. Roel Gomez in the corner has Jaworski on him. It's going to be a reach-in foul on Jaworski.
And that will be number 5 on him. They are in the penalty. They have been in the penalty for quite a while.
A minute and 12 seconds to go. A 10-point lead by Alaska.
Sonny losing his footing there and getting entangled with Gomez. That is 4th personal foul.
Well,
Making
Gomez.
the first free throw. Getting warmed up there.
Gary Valenciano and Ruel Santiago also here. And we told you, everybody's here tonight.
Big crowd here. About 10. Almost 11,000.
It is a 12-point lead for Alaska Milk. They're looking pretty good here, despite the fact that Frankie Lim is still on the bench with Bong Alvarez. But then some of the pillars of strength for Ginebra are also on the bench. Chito Loizaga riding out some foul trouble. He'll be back.
That's the problem with Ginebra. They're playing with a lot of the guard line, and they're not really playing with people in the right line, with the forwards that they need, and they're beginning to suffer.
Bounced off Ray Cuenco's foot that time. Triple try will not go. Ravanes puts it back up. Nandi Garcia is fouled.
And who's the only one rebounding? It's as if Alaska is the, everybody's doing the rebounding with Ginebra not having enough people, big people.
Yes, that's showing definitely. And that's been the story in this ball game.
Injury timeout, Alaska.
Nandi Garcia got poked in the eye in that time.
44 seconds left. A dozen-point lead being enjoyed right now by the Alaska Milkmen. Sonny talking to his assistant coach, Arlene Rodriguez. The reaction job that is needed to get some big men there. You cannot continue to play with 4 guards against a team that rebounds well, no? And is as quick as you are, and maybe even quicker.
And Dondon Apalayo getting through a bout of the cramps is going to give them 1 big man on the floor, at least, or 2 with Ray Cuenco there.
They played too long with 4 guards on the floor, and that really hurt them.
They almost got pounded to bits by Alaska. Nandi Garcia makes it a 13-point
But
lead.
it's Cuenco that's going to be taken out there.
But still 4 guards on the floor for Ginebra San Miguel. Nandi Garcia thought it was short. It still fell in.
It's a 14-point lead now being enjoyed by Alaska.
That's the biggest of the ball game.
Yes. Matthews with people stepping all over his foot there, and no calls were made.
And he's limping a bit now. Trying to shake it off. Lastimosa Double teamed up high. Gomez. Chambers on the outside. 8 seconds on the shot clock. To Gomez, poised for a triple. Makes it.
And a big one here.
3 points.
They've gotten all the breaks here with 10 seconds left. Distrito, and there's going to be a bump foul there called on Gomez. A useless one because Distrito was going nowhere. But because of the penalty, he'll go to the free throw line, you know.
15-point lead for Alaska. 8 seconds to go. Bong Alvarez is going to come back into the ball game for a last-second stab for Alaska Milk.
And they have one more opportunity. If Distrito should make the 2 free throws, they will have possession and have 1 attempt. But Distrito is long on the first free throw.
Gomez.
Bit too flat on that try.
Lastimosa.
And because of the big lead, that allows the good substitution as Alvarez and Lim are back in the ball game. Team Com maybe looking for the kill, you know, going into the fourth, no? With this maybe last play and going for the kill.
Rudy Distrito trying to fire up his team. Gets the bounce. Jaworski almost took it away from Nandy Garcia. Time's running down. Lim takes it. Doesn't get it. And at the end of 3 quarters of war, it's still Alaska. We'll be back with the fourth. Gonzaga joins his bruised and battered compatriots on the floor as we open the fourth quarter. Alaska is up 88-74.
Enjoying a 14-point lead. And Matthews picking up Gomez. Well, the Ginebra squad is not going with people that are in foul trouble. They really have no choice. No, it's really this or that. And another pickup ball underneath the basket here by Alvarez, and he stuffs it in. So it's 90-74, a 16-point lead now.
Another good break for Alaska. Gomez put up a haphazard shot. The turnover story, Alaska.
Well, it's Ginebra 7.
Ginebra that had 7.
Just a miscue there.
Isaac to Distrito. Baseline jumper for Distrito seems to be working. He has 7 points.
Well, not enough yet. Obviously, remember the last time out, he had a better performance as he kept the team alive there in the third quarter. The third quarter in this ballgame was all Alaska. There's the low post play for Chambers, who kicks it out to Gomez. Long on the 3-point shot, but they're not afraid to take those kind of shots.
Alvarez goes up hard and gets the bucket.
You know why they're not afraid to take those kind of shots? Because they're getting the offensive rebounds. So the guy is almost always confident when he takes the shot. We may miss, but we'll get a second chance. No?
They've been murdering Ginebra in that department. Ever since the first half, there's going to be a hooking foul on Nandy Garcia.
Foul, Garcia.
And you see the fans of the Alaska Milkman waving the flags. There are bigger flags there in the gallery. Matthews cannot even poise. We have Ampalayo ready to take a 3-point shot, and he's been successful at that.
Palayo, 3 points.
Dondon Palayo trying to spark Ginebra back into contention in this ball game. He has 8 points, 2 3-pointers.
There is really a lot of time. We're just at the start of the fourth quarter.
Alvarez weaving out of trouble, goes up and nobody home.
Ginebra's looking the other way on a one-on-one move. Alvarez, Lastimosa, and Chambers are the only players given the one-on-one move, but they've been doing well.
Sonny Jaworski going deeper into his bench now, finds Bennett Palad at the scorer's table. Distrito gets continuation.
Distrito creating room for himself there in that play.
Foul, Garcia.
Foul on Nandy Garcia, his third. 2 team fouls on Alaska. Ginebra still clean. 10 minutes and a second left. 94-81 is the tally.
Palad being called back to the bench. Maybe it was for Distrito.
Yes.
And Distrito just made that 2-point shot and has a 3-point play coming up.
He's in double figures now.
5 points in this quarter.
Ravanes bringing the ball up. No true point guard for Alaska, and they've tried this time and time again to give them more size. Chambers double teamed up high. Distrito a bit too close for comfort. That's number 5 on Rudy.
Foul, Distrito.
And Wes Matthews has been limping, has been unable to move as well. This was the play where he got hurt there. Took off and fell awkwardly and was limping after that, and that's why he's not as mobile as he normally is.
3 Ginebra players with 5 personal fouls now.
Chambers getting away from Loizaga, splits the middle.
Well, Chambers did exactly that play that won them the ball game in the first game, you know. Nobody helped out. They did not anticipate that Chambers would be the one to make that kind of a shot.
Isaac forced to put up a shot against two people. Garcia just takes it away.
And there was no more teamwork there, as Isaac could have dropped off to Chito Loizaga. Instead, an individual move.
Gomez bombs away
There is
again.
another
Gomez,
3-point shot.
3 points.
And Alaska is really bombarding Ginebra with a lot. Gomez has hit a couple of 3-point shots.
They're firing away on all cylinders now and trying to psych Ginebra out as well. And
Ginebra may have given up the way Matthews is playing. You know, it's up for the coaching staff because he's not coming back anymore, and he's not been defending.
Chambers gets a bump, but gets the bucket too. And Sonny Jaworski's seen enough. He needs a timeout.
Timeout, Ginebra, San Miguel.
Leo Isaac gets a left-handed reverse layup the hard way, trims Alaska's lead down to 17, and Sonny Jaworski was really yelling and bellowing at his players during that timeout, especially Wes Matthews.
Well, the one thing that you don't want to do is you want to give up. You know, you got to play.
Ravanes almost has his pocket pick, but Alvarez is there for the retrieval.
Ginebra has done a very poor job at defense and rebounding in this ball game. You know, they've just gotten clobbered off the boards here and the picking up of loose balls. Well, Alaska has been doing a great job on rebounding and making Matthews lose that ball, making it difficult for him. And all of a sudden, the extension of the defense up to the top of the key has really hurt Ginebra, and that was a surprise package unraveled in the second half of play by the Alaska bench.
A while ago, you caught a glimpse of the players of Ginebra who are in foul trouble. Great ball movement by Alaska. Nandi Garcia tried to be creative, but
Foul on Nandi Garcia for pushing off.
he tried to get room for himself, get airspace to
Garcia.
get the follow-up, but he picks up his fourth foul instead. 3 on Alaska, 1 on Ginebra. 7:44 to play.
19-point lead for Alaska. The series has been close all the way in the first 2 games. Matthews tries a 3-point shot and he can't bury it.
Ampalayo gets hacked under the basket by Sean Chambers. That's the first personal foul on Chambers, who really went to town when Chito Loizaga was not in the ball game. He scored 14 points in the third quarter. Ampalayo will try another triple.
In and
Grounds out.
But he's been trying. That's one thing you can say for him. He's taken that kind of a shot free.
Ravanes has been adequate at the point guard slot because they've managed to move the ball around well. Gomez. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Chambers back to Gomez. Poised for a 3. No, 25-second violation.
5-second violation.
One of the few times that Alaska, you know, was not able to really get a good shot off. Look at this. They already have 103 points. Ginebra only has 84. So they played good defense while getting over 100 points.
Matthews misses the layup too. It's going to be a loose ball foul on number 12. That's Dante Gonzalgo, and that
Foul,
is
Gonzalgo.
the ball game for Dante
6
Gonzalgo.
personal fouls.
Gonzalgo, 6 fouls.
First casualty with still 6 minutes and 53 seconds to go. The Iron Man has to punch out with 12 points and 4 rebounds, and Sonny Jaworski digs deeper into his bench and finds J.V. Gayoso. He and Bennett Palad are seeing action for the first time.
Well, obviously, he knows it's going to be a very hard comeback for his team, and he wants to try some new people. And at the same time, maybe rest the others, no? So there's still a game on Sunday.
Ampalayo reaching in on Sean Chambers.
Foul,
That's the third
Ampalayo.
on Dondon Ampalayo.
He takes off that mask. Third personal foul. 13 foul called against Ginebra. Alaska is shooting 4 here in this quarter.
Chambers top of the key. Double team, triple team. He's hammered.
And a deliberate foul called against one of the players here.
Let's see who it's on.
Deliberate foul, Isaac.
Isaac called for a deliberate foul.
Warren Isaac.
And he's going to have to sit down for 3 playing minutes.
Yes.
Some frustration beginning to show on the part of the Ginebra players. Jaworski wearily
Isaac.
checks in for Leo Isaac.
Chambers making that free throw.
But can he make the second?
Well, you know, they're more relaxed now. There's less pressure, you know. They have a big lead. The other team is losing its players on personal fouls. I think he'll be relaxed now. But there it is. Yeah.
It's the curse of the broadcaster, I tell you. 20-point lead for Alaska. Bennett Palad with a difficult reverse. There's going to be a traveling violation on Roel Gomez, trying to keep the ball away from Sonny Jaworski. Alaska has done everything, and now they're going to try to break Ginebra's spirit as well, which is probably impossible.
Well, for this game, it is very possible. I don't know. Palad is now being replaced here by Villanil, who started off for Ginebra. This is in contrast to the first two games, no? The important thing here for Alaska was they continued to rebound well and they defended well and they tried something new. There's the block.
JV Gayoso disappeared under 3 Alaska players, and so did the basketball.
Well, you can't really expect too much from these rookies because they have not been given a lot of playing time. And this is championship spirit right now here, championship time.
Gomez will try another triple. Gets it!
And Gomez has had a terrific evening, you know. Been very steady and a nice pick. The third pick, actually.
He has been Alaska's hired gun in this series. Matthews trying to be creative, gets a basket, a rare breath of offense from Wes Matthews. He has 21 points and 8 rebounds, but anemic in comparison to his average, even in the series.
You know, partner, something that's funny, no, that has happened in the past, and I'm almost always certain of it, is when somebody wins the most valuable import, he doesn't really come up with a good game.
Gomez, 3 points.
That night.
Comfortable.
Yes, that night. And Gomez hits his 4th rainbow shot. That is really what has buried Ginebra away in this ballgame.
Jaworski trying to get it on Palayo. It's a turnover for Ginebra. 110 to 86 is the score. 5 minutes and 27 seconds. Ginebra's fate has been in stark contrast to the first 2 games.
Well, I don't think they're in there anymore. It's a 2-1 lead for Alaska, and Ginebra just has to go back to the drawing board, find some solutions.
Chambers, meanwhile, continues to pick them apart. A deliberate foul is
Another
called.
deliberate foul called on Villanil this time.
Deliberate foul, Villanil.
His 3rd personal
Warning
foul.
on Villanil.
And he likewise is banished to the bench for at least 3 basketball minutes. And Rudy Distrito
Villanil.
comes in.
Oh, that was a loud smack there. That is uncalled for, you know. I mean, maybe losing, but that's not the way.
Alaska going for the jugular here, not letting up a bit. As we said, small leads have not been safe. Big leads, maybe.
No, but this lead is enough to win. And you can see the momentum. Ginebra is already out of it because of the fact that they could never stay with the rebounding department of Alaska.
Plus, their defense started falling apart. Their players started getting into foul trouble.
Especially their big men, and that hurt them. No? And then Matthews unable to score. Matthews is, well, he's got 2 days to rest.
Look. Meanwhile, JV Gayoso pops a surprise 3-pointer.
Oh, Gomez was surprised that Gayoso was going to take the shot, so he gave him that room.
Well, they'll try anything to get back into this game. Chambers whips a pass to Ravanes, who's hammered under the basket by Gayoso.
Foul, Gayoso.
Chambers probably asking, why am I still in here?
For insurance.
It's just the effect of putting the other team away completely, no?
And hoping that it will brand an impression that Ginebra will carry into the next game.
Yes. And so Alaska again will be within 1 game of winning its first championship. That happened to them last year when they took a 2-0 lead and then lost to the Hot Dogs, Pure Foods Hot Dogs.
Another offensive rebound. Alvarez has it smacked out of bounds by Wes Matthews. 114 to 89, and some of the Ginebra gallery has given up tonight.
Yes.
Under 5 minutes to play.
Oh, their worst game here. Gomez going for another one, but not this time. Matthews picking the rebound.
To the rebound. Trying to open things up. Fakes, goes up in the air. He's fouled and gets the basket. Chambers can't believe it.
Foul, Chambers.
Matthews will be at the line, and the one who shoots best on the line will be our sharp shooter at the end of the ball game.
114-91. 22-point lead now, 114-92. And Alaska over 110 points, no? And on exceptional shooting and second chance points here, especially in the second half of play.
Garcia will try his luck from triple country. Jaworski, the defensive rebound, pitches it ahead to Matthews, slams it home. We have a timeout by Tim Cohn. Alaska, JV Girls are going to go strong, gets the fast break layup.
Well, Chambers did not challenge him in that play. That was a lot of hustle provided by the rookie J.B. Gayoso. Ampalayo also putting some hustle there against Robanes.
They get the ball safely across the timeline. Ravanes to Alvarez. Has two men on him. Goes up a second time. One-hander doesn't go. They battle for it. Jaworski takes it. Alvarez lunges for it. Takes it away from Jaworski. Ravanes is under the basket. Decides to go back out.
That's a wise thing to do.
They'll use up the shot clock. Chambers
extending its defense, and there's a foul by Ampalayo. That's downstairs. That will be number 4 on him.
Foul, Ampalayo.
That puts Ginebra in the penalty with 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Alaska has 5 team fouls.
Ginebra's been in the penalty every quarter in this ball game, and there's Gomez holding on to his head up there. Is that coins or what?
Something flying down from the gallery. Sonny Jaworski complaining that
you gave the ball. That's live.
We should start counting 5 seconds.
You have to go with the rules. You cannot extend the rules to suit something.
Ravanes. Garcia on the outside. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Chambers goes up over Ampalayo.
Big bucket. Chambers, by the way, has a triple-double in this ball game. Not that many points, although 33 is still very good, and he's right on his average.
15 rebounds and 10 assists to boot. Distrito plus a block shot on Rudy Distrito.
Okay. Chambers wasn't going to give him that.
They decide to use the time, and why not?
Some people leaving there downstairs.
They've conceded this game to Alaska. They also reaching in. He'll send Nandy Garcia to the line.
Foul, Gayoso.
And with that,
Penalty.
a couple of hundred more spectators turn their backs and leave.
We have, what's this time? 2:27?
2:37.
2:37. Well, Garcia and Gomez certainly blossom in the championship series, as shown in the last game. Both of them contributing a total of 24 points. But it was not a winning cause. However, tonight, it has certainly helped their team.
Roel Gomez with his 4 triples is a strong candidate for our Jollibee best player. And JV Gayoso trying to make up the difference in a big way, but it's still 118-98.
It shows that the guy is capable of playing, obviously. Just that there's Gayoso meeting Chambers head up, giving up the foul. Palad is about to come into the ball game also for Rudy Distrito.
Matthews.
For Matthews. Matthews has been limping, and Matthews has sub-performance.
And, I was just going to say, Andy, that this might be the best time to take him out because that injury might get worse. And, if this game is over, no sense in risking further damage to that ankle.
That's very correct. And, you've got to undergo therapy. Put that thing on ice and then undergo therapy if you have any sprained ankle or what.
Make the swelling go down. A dejected Wes Matthews.
His worst performance maybe in this series, no? And the other one counting the first time that they lost to Alaska when they got blown off the court also.
Roel Gomez, Alaska just kicking the ball around now, wasting the time.
Last 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes.
These last 2 minutes are brought to you by Emperador Brandy. Enjoy it like a king. That's another offensive rebound for Alaska. And that's been the big story here.
And Alaska will use the 25-second shot clock
to the hilt.
They will win this by a very big margin. 21-point lead right now. Ginebra has not even gotten to the century mark, and Gomez a long 3-point shot there, but not going in this time.
Bennett Palad back in the ball game. drives strong, goes up, tries to get some more stats for himself. Gayoso will try to do the same.
Gayoso has been playing well offensively and with a lot of hustle, which is what they needed.
In fact, Alaska has played quite well. They didn't need their big men anymore. They're about to just check in now, take out the rest of the starters. A minute and 5 seconds to go. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Alvarez will take a long three-pointer and make it.
Everything going.
Alvarez, 3-point.
One of those big nights as you take a look at the Oiteng Sus. Very happy there's going to be a... Oh, I thought there was a foul call.
Palad is held on to there by Sean Chambers. 22-point lead for Alaska.
Foul,
122 to 100. 53 seconds to go. That stops
Chambers.
play for Chambers to go out.
Alvarez.
As well as Bong Alvarez, Alex Araneta, and Eton Navarro come into the ball game.
The two main core of their offensive game, that's Chambers and Alvarez. Plus, of course, the support of Frankie Lim and Gomez, who played very well. All of these guys, as a team effort, Alaska was unbeatable in this game tonight.
I think that's the word. 25 points for Bong Alvarez, 11 rebounds and a blocked shot. Sean Chambers, 34 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists.
See, but it was a very close game until the last few minutes of the third quarter. That's when Alaska began to pull away. And one man was responsible for that. And then the start of the fourth.
That was when Ginebra threw away 7 turnovers in the third quarter. Garcia will try another triple. This one's short. Distrito ahead to Palad. All that remains to be settled is the final count. Palad is fouled by Garcia. Trying to go for the block there.
Foul, Garcia.
Well, a lot of the timeouts were not used in this ball game. Both teams still having 3 left. And obviously, we'll have a long ending for ourselves here.
You had to bring it up, huh? You had to bring it up.
Not like the other game when all the 14 timeouts were used, huh?
Yes, when a serious challenge was posed by Pepsi Cola, they were down by 27 points, cut it down to 5, but it was just too much to ask for. Liboy Ravanes may be starting a new career as point guard.
That's not an unfamiliar position for him, because he has been, well, he's not a good passer, but he does dribble well.
Been a solid utility man for the Alaska franchise. Tried to get it to Navarro, was cutting to the hoop. 122 to 103. Ampalay will try to end things for Ginebra. It doesn't get the roll, so Alaska gets the biggest win of the final series. 122 to 103, the big breakthrough we were talking about. Andy and I will wrap up this ball game and give out our post-game awards and a hefty analysis from the doctor after these.